Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Levi, and before I even start, could you please subscribe to my channel? It would mean a lot. I would love to hit 500 subscribers before I leave on my next trip. And that brings me on to what I'm going to talk about today, which is Scotland. I'm heading to Scotland in literally under 3 weeks now. We're leaving on the 6th of December. I basically wanted to make a bit of a video about how I kind of planned my trip for a winter in Scotland. I've got a whole list here, a whole bunch of things that I want to talk about. Flights, travel, accommodation, luggage, what I brought, how many shirts, for example, how many jeans, just things like that, because I know when I started traveling and I started going to winter destinations, I had no idea. So I was trying to look online, I didn't really find anything, which is why I'm making this video. You know, and the route as well, why we chose specific places. So without further ado, let's get started. So I guess the first question that I want to answer is, why Scotland? There's a couple of reasons actually, but the main reason, well, look at it, it's just incredible, especially in winter. The winter landscapes, the mountains, terrain, I'm all about that. All about the outdoors. I love the outdoors, love hiking, I love the snow, all of that good stuff. So I was like, okay, I've been to Canada, it was incredible, best month of my life, and then I was like, where else do I want to go that is kind of similar in this way? And Scotland was right at the top of the list. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is because, I don't know if you guys know, but or heard about this show, it's called Outlander. And, you know, just going to visit some castles and stuff from a show with just such history, that really drew me in. Oh, and you can't forget Harry Potter. Obviously, it is one of the most influential, you know, franchises in the world. And growing up, I was in love with Harry Potter. I used to dress up as freaking Harry Potter for the book signing, all that kind of stuff. I love Harry Potter, so we're going to be adding some of those things to the lists as well that we're going to do while we're there. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. So the route that we decided to pick, we had to do it in a way that we wanted to be in specific places for Christmas and New Year's. And when we're leaving, we leave on the 6th of December. We're actually going to Italy and France before then. I won't cover that in this video. If you want me to cover Italy and France, then please let me know and I'll make another video. But we land in Edinburgh on the 19th of December. Obviously things book out, it's holidays, it's winter, you know, it's the Christmas season, so there's not that many options for us. So we had to book well in advance. I am the type of traveler that, like, I want to go there without much of a plan because I hate being tied down to things. Basically, this is the list of places we're visiting and the dates, just so you can get an idea on how many days we're spending in each. Why I picked these places as well, because I think that's really important. So the first place is, we land in Edinburgh on the 19th of December. We were kind of tossing up between, should we stay there for a week, or should we come and go and then come back? We actually decided to only stay there for one night. So we're staying in Edinburgh just on the 19th at night, that one night, leaving on the 20th. And that's because we didn't want to stay there for that length of time. Even though we have a car, we didn't want to just be stuck there. And I feel like a week would just be just a bit too long. I wanted to spend New Year's in Edinburgh, so we decided to just stay there that one night, come back for New Year's, and stay there for about 5 days then. So Edinburgh 19th to the 20th, we're going to Glencoe from the 20th to the 23rd, and honestly, I don't really have much of a reason behind why I wanted to visit Glencoe, other than that, just Google Glencoe, that's all I can say. It's incredible. It's in the Highlands, which we want to visit so badly. So we're visiting Glencoe, and another reason is because it's kind of in a roundabout way, it's on our way to Glasgow, which is our next stop. So Glencoe from the 20th to the 23rd, Glasgow from the 23rd to the 25th. We're going to be there for Christmas. We wanted to be in a big city for Christmas. Glasgow, you know, it's the capital. There's going to be so much happening. I've heard great things about Glasgow on Christmas. What we did to kind of see what's happening is all I did is I typed in Google Glasgow Christmas events, and there's heaps of stuff you can do. So, and it may cost a little bit, some of these events, but we're going to fork out that little bit extra so we can just kind of make the most of our time there. We're only there for 3 days and we're kind of losing a couple hours on either side when, you know, in travel. So we're leaving on the 25th. My friend Josh, who is one of the people that we're going with, he wanted to go to a different place. He said, you know, 2.5 weeks in Scotland itself is too long, which I kind of do agree with. So we decided to split it up, and we're actually going to Ireland in between. So from the 23rd to the 25th, we're going to be in Glasgow. On the 25th, we leave and we go to the port village of Canryan, which is one of the main spots, or if not the main spot, where you can get a ferry from Scotland straight over to Ireland. And that leads me to the next place, is we're going to be in Belfast for 4 days. After that, we're going to head back to Canryan. We're just going to drive straight up to Edinburgh for New Year's. So from the 30th to the 2nd, we're going to be in Edinburgh. There's so much happening over that period of time, so we had to book that well in advance. Obviously, things over that period of time are a bit more expensive. So, you know, for our hotel, we had to pay a couple hundred more. Well, I'm gonna say double to what we normally paid. So we honestly, for the 30th, the 31st, the 1st, to the 2nd, I think we paid about $1,000 for 4 days, which in my book, I find that really expensive. I honestly try to go for places that aren't too expensive. I want to fill my time there and spend my money on other things rather than staying at a fancy place. So $1,000 for 4 days is quite expensive in my eyes. And during that time, there's heaps of stuff. Literally another Google search and it came up with one of the world's best New Year's celebrations. It's called Hogmanay in Edinburgh, where literally like 70,000 people rock up to this street party. There's different bands playing, there's live music, you know, it's gonna go off. So we're going to that. You have to buy a ticket for that, and from knowledge, it's about £30. So in Australian dollar, it's about $50, I would say. A day before that, so the 30th, street torchlight walk. So we're going to be doing that too. It's a little bit cheaper. You can start from different destinations, different locations in Edinburgh, and you literally walk around with torchlight, with candles around the streets of Edinburgh. So we're going to do that. And on New Year's Day, there's this really wacky thing that the Scottish people do, and they go down to, wait, I need to remember this. I don't actually remember. River. Oh, okay. So it's called the Looney Duck, and it's in the River Forth. So everyone just dresses up in some crazy outfit and jumps into the water in the freezing cold winter. So I don't know if we're going to be doing that yet. It's definitely on the cards. The next destination, and probably the place that I'm looking forward to the most, just because, you know, I have an obsession with the outdoors, hiking, nature, and all that kind of thing, just because I take photo and I film. So on those days, so on the 2nd to the 6th of January, we're heading to Isle of Skye, one of the most beautiful places on earth. I'm like confident in that. It's just gonna be incredible. You're gonna see videos from there. So yeah, I can't wait to show you guys. It's gonna be epic, and photos. So this is a really good segue for me to say, follow me on Instagram at LeviLook. If you're from YouTube coming to Instagram, please let me know. I'd love to have a chat with you about any questions you might have. I'm really sorry, this video is going to be quite long. I got a lot to talk about. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, let's talk about flights / travel. We decided to fly in and out of Edinburgh just because it's a really central location. Generally, main cities like that, they're not as expensive as out of the way, you know, small airstrips kind of thing. That's pretty much the main reason, and it's really easy to pick up a car, which is what we're doing. We're hiring a car for the 19 days that we're there. I'll talk about costs in a little bit. So we're going with a group of 4, and the reason behind this, I mean, I'm not going to say it's a reason behind this because I'm not using these people, but I'm not using my friends, but it's really cost effective. So that means a 1/4 of the cost of fuel, which will add up, I know it will. The 1/4 of the cost of food if you're shopping at supermarkets, which we're planning on to cut down costs. Just divide everything by 4. And it doesn't have to be such an expensive holiday. It's such an expensive place to visit, even over Christmas. So we've hired a 4x4 four-wheel drive, just a couple of reasons. The main reason is because more space, we have luggage, you know, traveling with girls. I mean, obviously not all girls are like this, but a lot like taking a little bit more luggage. I'm digging myself a hole, but this is my experience anyway. They like taking a little bit more luggage. We need that little bit of extra space. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but we do need that extra space. And on top of that, it's winter. We kind of wanted something a bit more all-terrain vehicle, and we thought the best way is 4x4. So we're not going to get stuck anywhere. It's a reliable car. We're going to pick it up from the airport as we arrive in Edinburgh. We can drive it around wherever we want, whenever we want, and then drop it back at the end. I will say as well, so earlier as I was saying, we're going to Cairnryan and then over to Belfast. There's actually there's some sort of tax that they have on. So when traveling from Scotland to Ireland, you have to pay about £150. I actually don't really know why, so if someone could explain that to me, that would be great. Cut a long story short, have to pay £150, which is okay, as I said, because you just divide that by 4. Another reason for staying in Edinburgh and having a car is that the winter daylight hours are extremely limited. Where, like, I'm talking, we're gonna have some days, sometimes, some places between 6 and 8.5 hours of daylight. So we're gonna feel like vampires by the end of this time. This means that I need to get up before sunrise and make the most of the day. The sun doesn't rise until about 9 a.m. I'm a fairly early riser, so I can get up at about 7:30, get ready, leave before the sunrise, spend the entire day out before the sun sets at between 3:30 and I'd say maximum 5 p.m. And I'd just like to say as well, the last thing about the flights and travel is for the 4x4, for the car, it's $1,300 between 4 people for 2.5 weeks. So that is really cost effective, honestly. Between 4 people, there's gonna be fuel on top of that, but nothing. It's really worth it if you wanna make the most of your time, especially in winter when there's not that much daylight. And it's a short drive to different places. I don't wanna waste my time on a train, wasting daytime hours. We don't have that time. So that's why another reason why we got a car. The next thing I want to talk about is accommodation. I have a few points. The first one is most of the places we booked are Airbnbs. There's 1 or 2 places that we did book at a hostel, just for the pure fact that it's extremely cheap. Between the 4 of us, on average, I calculated it, we're spending about $30 Australian a night on accommodation. It's great. So I'd probably say about $20 US per night, if that, probably less than 20, like 18 or something. Like I said earlier, I'm not the type of person that wants to spend big on accommodation. I'm happy to, cut down on the luxuries to be able to see more and do more, spend my money on that. And the Airbnbs, the hosts are usually great. You can stay in some really cool places. And again, it's really cost effective between 4 people. Average 120 to 140 per night, which, if it was just you, it would rack up really quickly. You'd be spending thousands upon thousands on accommodation, whereas we're only spending about $30 each a night. And that's what I would say as well. You need to book early. You don't want to leave it to the last minute, otherwise you're just going to miss out on some really good deals. So in total, for accommodation for the entire 2.5 weeks in Scotland, we spent nothing. We spent $700 each, and that actually includes our time in Ireland as well. We spent $700 each. So, let's round it up a little bit. Let's say $3,000 for 2.5 weeks between 4 people. It's really affordable. And the majority of that is for our stays over Christmas and New Year's, because they can just put the prices right up. This is the biggest point of all, and this, honestly, it can make or break your trip because it can weigh you down like nothing else. that is luggage. We have all decided to take a backpacking bag. I'm taking my backpacking bag that I had in India. You should definitely go and check out my India vids if you haven't already. It was a crazy time.
I love my India. I love my India.
Out. Thumbs in.
Thumbs in.
Thumbs out.
Thumbs out.
Thumbs in.
Thumbs in.
Bend down.
Bend down.
Freeze apart.
Wow, this has been a race against the clock.
Oh, this is it.
It's leaving.
It's leaving.
I'm taking my 70 litre, my girlfriend Kirsty's taking a 60 litre, my friend Josh is taking a 60 litre. You don't need to worry about rolling it around on the ground, and we all know that those wheels, unless you get a really good bag, those wheels are not the greatest. They get locked up, they're dodgy, they just don't spin. You end up going frictionless around corners. It's just, I'd rather just carry it on my back. So for our flights, carry on plus 20 kilos, we are not gonna take 20 kilos. That is not what you want to do. You want to take as least as possible. I will probably take a little bit more because I got my camera, my laptop, my tripod, all that kind of thing. I'm not going to put many clothes. I'm not going to bring many clothes, especially because it's winter. People don't care what you look like. If you're in Italy or France, which we're visiting, I'm going to take a few more things just because I don't want to look okay. I want to look half decent when I'm in those places. And basically, it's about comfort. You're wanting to stay warm. You're not wanting to freeze your toes off. The only downside about winter clothing is that it's a bit bulkier. You have your jumpers, your beanies, your scarves. All that adds a lot of bulkiness to your bag. So I would first say as well, when you're dealing with any of that stuff, roll everything. That's a big tip that I have. You need to roll everything. It saves a lot of space. You can fit a lot more in your bag. Bring a waterproof jacket. You don't want to be stuck in Scotland. Scotland is synonymous with rain. It's going to be raining, there's going to be sleet, probably snow as well. And you're not going to sit inside on these days. Prepare yourselves, get a waterproof jacket. I got my jumper for $110 off mountainwarehouse.com. I actually haven't received it in the mail yet. I ordered it online, so fingers crossed it's a decent waterproof jacket, because if not, I'm not going to have a fun time. Thermals as well. You want to grab a couple of thermals. I'd probably say 2 pairs of thermals. In the winter, in Scotland, you're not going to be sweating that much. And merino wool also, it absorbs your sweat. So if you do sweat, it's not going to stick to your skin. You're not going to freeze, basically. I'm bringing a waterproof jacket, and I'm bringing just a big parka. 2 jackets, that's all you need. You're not going to see the same people twice. No one cares. That's literally it. No one cares. You're going to be warm. Either way, even if you bring 1 jacket, it does not matter in my opinion. I would say, bring 2 more jumpers underneath, just for the layers kind of thing. But just bring 1 to 2 big jackets. Don't overdo it, because you're going to run out of room in your bag, and that happens very quickly in winter. 2 shoes. So hiking shoes / waterproof. So for my hiking shoes, I'm honestly just going to bring my Timberlands. You're not going to go on an expedition in these shoes, but for Scotland, I think it's fine. I'm not going to be in knee-deep snow. They're great shoes. I took them to Canada, completely waterproof as well, so I'm taking Timberlands. And the second pair is just daily wear. I actually bought some Converses. Honestly, that's all, just to walk around on a daily basis. 4 shirts, I'm taking 4 shirts. That's all I need. That means that I could basically wash them once or twice a week, depending on if I sweat or not. And lastly, I'd just say, just to bring it all to a conclusion, it's all about layers. You're going to be freezing if you just have a shirt and a jumper and a sweater, wherever, depending on where in the world you're from. But if you have a shirt, if you have your thermals under your shirt, if you have your jumper, if you have a jacket over the top, you're going to be really warm, if not hot. I mean, all these places that are used to the cold, their heating is incredible. I've never felt anything like it. You have to the point where you need to strip off all these layers because you're so hot. And it actually gets really annoying, because every time you go into a cafe or something, you're sweating like crazy, like I am right now. I'm sitting in a furnace. The sun is beating on me. Well guys, that's it. That's all I have. If you have any questions for me, please, as I said before, my Instagram is @LeviLook. Ask me those questions, send me a DM, I will respond to you, I promise. And also, don't forget to subscribe. I can't wait to show you some of what I get up to on this trip. I'm going to be vlogging every single day. I've got a lot of content coming up and I can't wait to upload more videos. I actually decided not to upload when I'm not traveling, just because I want to make it exciting. I want to make it exciting for myself. I wasn't enjoying it. So I decided to have a bit of a break. You will see me in 2.5 weeks. I'm going to be vlogging. I'm going to be putting stories up on my Instagram and posting every single day. So please keep an eye out for that and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Let me know if this helped you out in the comments. And remember, stay safe, but not too safe.